Alright, let's do this! Okay, with silliness aside, let's start answering a few questions. Skeleton Man 7 asks, you have posted starts of playthroughs with commentary but never went on with this. In parentheses, that or leaving a considerable amount of time between each part, end parentheses. I do know school and such can keep you busy, but will you ever continue one of these? Pointing out Overlord 2 and Dead Space. It's a little difficult to say, but simply put, I just find it hard to continue the playthroughs. You could say school plays a small role in that, but then the main thing is that, well, one, I'm not really much of a commentator, as you can clearly see in my playthroughs that I struggle just to keep a conversation going. And number two, the amount of views, it doesn't really justify me continuing the playthrough series. I spend around like 30 minutes to record the playthroughs, and then around another 30 minutes to edit them. And with my internet connection, it takes about an hour to 3 hours to upload them, depending on how big the file is and how long the video is. So I don't think spending 4 hours a day to upload a video that only gets around like 50 views really justifies itself. And again, I'm not much of a commentator, so then that also hurts the amount of views as well. But I still feel like continuing them, but then only after I make a few adjustments. One being I have more time away from school, and another thing would be if I had another person to help me with the commentary. Like I can simply just say what's going on and stuff, but then another person can be on my side, helping me keep a conversation going, or just to help keep it a bit more interesting, to make making these videos more fun instead of a chore. So to answer your question, as of right now, not really, but I'm still considering continuing it if and only if there is anything that can make making these videos fun again. Alright, and then next question is, I loved the fact that you made a TF2 video and was wondering if you will ever post a replay, or better yet, would join the Saxies. I only made that Saxton Hale video because Arrow was kind of nagging me to make a TF2 video, because back then I was playing quite a bit of TF2, but then I wasn't posting any videos. So I decided to like just post that for the heck of it, just to get him to like leave me alone for a bit. And it did work, and I got a decent amount of views considering it was like a first time thing and I just threw it out there. So I don't plan to make any replays because I haven't really had any, let's just say I don't have a good history when it comes to making replays. And I just don't like the whole TF2 replay system thing. Um, and joining the Saxies, the only reason I would ever join the Saxy would be for the either the achievement or the weapon, which if they're still giving it out. But other than that, I don't really have any reason at all to join the Saxies. So no on the replays, and a really like a pretty good chance at it being a no for the Saxies. But that doesn't completely rule out TF2 videos. If there is decent enough things that happen and I feel like sharing it, then I would share it. But then that only works if I actually play TF2 again, which at this point it's not looking very good, considering how I only go on TF2 to idle nowadays. But again, for me, it's all about how I feel, what happens, and who I play with. Other than that, it's all up to chance or not going to happen. Okay, and then next would be, will there be any other games you'll be posting? For instance, something with multiple commentators. I got BioShock 2 and Fear, like the Fear series from Fear 1 to Fear 2. I was thinking about making gameplay videos, well, gameplay commentaries out of them, but I realized that, my other gameplay commentaries haven't really taken off, so that really prevented me from even touching the games, let alone making a video out of them. But the option of making a video out of them, it's still there, but then again, I need people that'll help me keep the conversation going when I'm playing, because me being me, it's hard to keep a conversation going, and me not being a speaker, it tends to be fairly quiet, and when I try to talk a bit, it just doesn't feel natural for me. So if I were to have a chance to have more people, for instance like you or Curve or anybody else that might be able to keep the conversation going, then yeah. But I don't know, it all depends. Alright, and then going back to Team Fortress 2, what is your favorite class and would you like a free hat? My favorite class is still the sniper, but I don't really play Team Fortress 2 much anymore. The only reason I'm on is to idle for free stuff. And for a free hat, I don't know. Considering how you used to be a TF2 trader, then I guess you have quite a bit of hats to spare. So a hat or two would be nice, but don't do it just because I said this. Just don't, because I'm not really one to take freebies, but I also don't really have the heart to decline a gift. So it's all up to you. If you want to give me one, sure. If you don't, then oh well. And then after that is, what is your least favorite class? It would have to be either the medic or the scout. I was never really good at being the scout, and I find the medic to be a bit difficult. But it's not really the medic itself, but then the aiming with the syringe gun. So then I find it pretty hard to damage with the medic. So I find myself dying as the medic quite a bit. And as for scout, it's just that for scout, it's a bit too simply put, it's too instinctive. Like, everything just happens too fast. He runs too fast. I'm not accustomed to his movements and stuff. So yeah, it's either one of those two. Next would be, what is your opinion about bronies? I understand how for you you're sort of neutral, and I have to say that I'm pretty much neutral as well. For me, I'm not very judgmental. I don't care what you are, so long as you're not bugging me. I don't give a damn. Like, if you're a brony, so be it. So long as you're not, as you said, pushing it in my face, or like making a big deal out of it, or hating me because I'm neutral about it, then I don't care. You are who you are. That's how I see people. I judge people by the way they act, not who they are or what they do. If they act like an ass, I'll treat them like an ass. If they act like a little kid, I'll treat them like a little kid. If they're a brony but then they're cool, then they're cool bronies. I don't care. But again, to answer your question, I don't really care so long as I'm not bothered by it. Alright, and then, sorry Wolfie, but I do not know how to pronounce your YouTube name. So I'll just go ahead and answer your questions. Alright, first question being, can I draw something hand-drawn, not computer or Photoshop? Let me answer that question. No. Why? Because my drawings look like this. Alright, next would be, did you enjoy Portal 2? Yeah, I did actually. I quite enjoyed Portal 2. Even though originally I didn't think I would like it, and I forget whether it was Chris or Curve that got me it. But then when I first saw it in my Steam items thing, I was kind of dreading it and was thinking about like trading it for another game or something. But then, me being me, I just couldn't do that, and because it came from a friend, I had to play it, and then I found myself from trying it out to spending several hours on it, and then that several hours turned into a couple days, and then I ended up finishing single player in like 2 days. And then you asked me to play Portal 2, and then that made it all the more fun, as you should know. And speaking of which, I have the demos for them, but I don't think I'm going to be recording it because it's just a ridiculous amount of demo files, because every map it's a different demo. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes, okay? But yeah, Portal 2 was really fun. I had a great time, and for the person who bought Portal 2 for me, thank you. Your money was not wasted. Well, your money was 2 days worth. I'll just say that much. Alright, and then next would be, would you want a tank/charger plushie? I would like a tank one, but then I'm pretty sure it's going to find me in a corner somewhere and just jump on me or something. But yeah, like a tank plushie would be nice. And while you're at it, maybe get Curve medkit plushie, and maybe Chris a hunter plushie while you're at it. No, wait. Yeah. No, wait. Pretty much any type of plushie would go for Chris, because he has been raped by pretty much every single SI out there. I'm just saying. I love you, Chris, but then you have horrible luck. Anyways, next question. Why you no do versus anymore? I like your versus vids. Sad face. Basically, I'm not much of a fan of PvP or player versus player, because I just don't like the community. Like, I I'm normally a very accepting person, but then I just don't have the patience to deal with immature little asses. I just don't. Like, I I just can't stand people who talk shit and judge you based on your skills and yada yada and this and that and this. And yeah, I just find it really difficult to have fun in verses because it's just too serious. I find it way too difficult to have fun. And another another reason would be that I haven't really had a good history when it came to verses. Back when I still had the pirated version of Left 4 Dead 2, I used to play verses every now and then, as you can see from my older Left 4 Lols videos. But then there were times where I was kicked or I was judged for not being good enough. I was being criticized for that one little mistake I made. So as I became more experienced with Left 4 Dead, I just decided to give up on versus mode because it's just too hard to have fun in there, and that's why I don't really play versus. Or that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't like playing online either, because back in Garna, or when I still had the pirated version of Left 4 Dead 2, all I did was play online. I met a couple really nice people, but then I met a ridiculous amount of assholes in a way. And again, I don't have the patience to deal with those immature little assholes. So then I just completely skipped out on it. So to answer your question, basically, in the most simplest form I can put it, I don't have the patience to deal with the immature little assholes, and I'm not willing to go through hundreds of immature little assholes just to meet a few decent people. Alright, and then next question is rice train or train of rice? Rice train, because rice train just sounds better and it goes, well, you know what I mean. Next question is, can you derp? Well, I don't know. Can I? Well, I've herped quite a bit in Left 4 Dead 2, as you can see in my fail videos, but I don't think I ever derped. Alright, next question is, how's school? School is school. That's all I can say. And then next is, how's life? Because it's me, life is shitty. Next question is, which infected do you think ruins Left 4 Dead 2? I can't say. I think the special infected was pretty much the only thing that Valve kind of got right with this, because they all seem to sort of balance it out. Yeah, there's like the hunter and jockeys, which are the ambush and the distractions, and then there's the charger to help separate the team, the boomer to disorient the team, the spitter to do the extra damage, and the tank and witch as the bosses. So yeah, I think they're pretty balanced out. So I don't think any really ruins it, but I think they could have added a couple things. But other than that, it's pretty good for the most part. And then next is, do you like wolves? I like all sorts of canines, so long as they're not biting me in my leg or my ass, then yeah. And then next is, do you like wolves from Asia? Yes, I like you as a friend. And then next is, what do you plan to do in your future? Big dreams, small dreams, etc. It's hard to say because my vision of my future, it's a bit unclear, and it has been up and down like these past few years. But my biggest dream would be to be able to see the world finally change for the better, because it just pains me to see the world as it is now. So if I can finally see a world where everything is right and works, then that's what I want to see. And if I played a role in that, then that is my dream. Next question is, why you write your Steam name in Leet? If by Leet you mean L33T, no, I do not write in those stupid COD fanboy crap type of writing and stuff. It's just that basically I pretty much I had this before the word Leet even existed. I did this before this was even popular in COD. But basically, if you haven't noticed, most of my screen names, they are pretty much my name. Like for example, 95train, 95 being the year I was born, 1995. Tran, my last name. E as in my first initial for Eric. So 95 Tran E, or 95 train. And then there's my Steam name, which is 3R1CV TR4N, which is pretty much just Eric V Tran, just with numbers. And then there's my alternative screen name for several other games where either they don't allow you to put a number as your first character for your screen name or whatever. Then it's STFU Eric 95. Reason for STFU, it goes back to 7th grade, and you could ask that in the comments or whatever, and I might be able to answer it, or just ask me on Steam. But yeah, basically, all of my screen names are pretty much just my name, and when I was first creating a Steam account, I was thinking about another name, and then my name just popped up in my head, like my full name. But then I thought that would also look pretty lame, and then I just switched some of the letters with numbers, and it seemed to work just fine, and here we are. And then next question would be eyes. I think I'll get back to you on that, because I think you asked that again later. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. Alright, and then next question is, can you learn to herp? No? I don't know. Next question is, more Minecraft por favor. It being gameplays, funny moments, or something-ish. This goes back to me answering Chris's question about gameplays and commentaries and whatnot. It's just that it doesn't seem like there's enough demand for it, so I don't really feel the need to make Minecraft videos. But you, as well as somebody else, did ask for Minecraft videos, and if there is enough demand and if there is enough reason for me to make it, meaning there's demand, as in people asking me to make them, and people want me to make them, and people will actually watch the videos if I make them. And then number 2 is I am willing to make a completely new world, being like my 5th or 6th new world, that people give me ideas on what to do, like for example what to create, where should I end it, how should I start, and so on and so forth. So I have like a decent enough idea of what people want, and that I can fulfill demands so that people are satisfied with what I'm doing in Minecraft, because I doubt people will want to see me just going up to trees, chopping them down, making tools, going in a mine, mining, build a house, and then rinse and repeat. So I need some sort of goal, as well as demand, and possibly some people to play with, or at least some others that will accompany me with the commentary. Then I might make Minecraft videos. But again, all the videos I make depends on you, so whether they live or die, it depends on you. And speaking of videos, no worries, I'm still making videos. It's just that Valve is being stupid, preventing me from recording the demos that I really want to record, and this is making me lazy to start working on videos, because I tend to like wait until I have everything recorded before I even start, and to have at least 1 to 2 extra projects like all planned out before I even start on one. So yeah, don't worry, Left 4 Dead videos are still in the works. I have them all in my external hard drive. It's just that I have not gotten to them yet because I feel lazy, and Valve is screwing with everything Left 4 Dead 2, and yeah, so on and so forth. Anyways, where was I? Oh, can you be a rice train? Aren't I already? And then, how many bowls of rice do you eat per day? On average, like 1, maybe 2. So basically 1 big bowl of rice for dinner, and then maybe 1, this is only sometimes, 1 bowl of rice lunch. So max is 2, but if you're talking about like the small Asian style bowls of rice where you can hold it in the palm of your hand and just gulp it down in like 4 bites, then I don't know, if maybe like 4 of those small bowls, 4 or 5, around there, for dinner. And then next is, how much would it cost to fix your Left 4 Dead 2 if it crashed? I don't know, $400,000. See what I did there? Yeah, did you see what I did there? Ha ha. And then next is, do you run a desktop or a laptop? It's a desktop that I custom built, and I'm getting new parts for a new build pretty soon. So desktop, this right now is a desktop. Next one is going to be a desktop, and down the road I'm going to be using a desktop, because I don't find laptops to be all that sufficient for my needs. And then next is how you record without lags in Left 4 Dead 2. And I lag even when I have Game Booster on and using Xfire to record, because Fraps won't work. It all depends on your computer. Because I built this desktop myself, I am well aware of its capabilities as well as its limitations. So I am able to tweak the game settings a bit to make it so that everything works as it everything works as it's supposed to, it still satisfies my visual needs, and it is still able to run smooth. So basically, if I were to have, well, with my computer which has a Intel Core 2 Dual 7500, I think, and a ATI Radeon 4650, I am able to run the game on max settings, minus AA and AF, or MSAA and AF, on max settings on 1600 by 900, I'm able to get like an average of 30 FPS, and I don't find that suitable. So I just decided to lower the resolution all the way down to like 1280 by 720, and then kept the max settings minus the shaders a bit. So instead of shaders on very high, I think I left it on high, because why have your graphics performance hindered when all it really does is make your gun shinier? And isn't it supposed to be a zombie apocalypse where the guns are supposed to be worn down, not shiny as hell? Anyways, I lowered the settings down a bit to raise other settings, and done this, done that, and basically now I'm able to run Left 4 Dead 2 at an average of around 60 FPS, and when recording maybe an average of like 45. So just know your computer specs and know its limitations, because that's what your performance depends on. Back to the eyes. Do you like your slanted Asian eyes? I think I actually have pretty big eyes for an Asian, if I do say so myself. So I don't know how to answer that question. Next is, would you be mad if I stole your rice? That's if you can even steal it, considering if you can run up a flight of stairs, go in through the door, run into the kitchen, grab that 30-pound sack of rice, run back out, down the stairs, and run away before I can catch you, then yeah, I'd be mad, but not about you stealing my rice, but the fact that I couldn't catch you. And then next is, can you play and record some Happy Wheels? I've watched a decent amount of Happy Wheel videos, and I found them to be really funny on occasions, but I don't see myself doing Happy Wheel videos. Like, I don't know, it's not really in my style to make Happy Wheel videos. So no, I don't think I'll be recording any Happy Wheels. But again, if there's enough people watching, and if there's enough people that want to watch it, and if there's enough reason for me to make the videos, then yeah, sure, I'd make it, but I don't see myself making any as of right now. Alright, next question is from Mike. 95train, what games do you play on what level? 1 or 2 or 3? I play quite a bit of games, actually. Most of them are first-person shooters. Left 4 Dead 2, Left 4 Dead, Borderlands, what else? Borderlands, Team Fortress 2, Killing Floor. Sorry, I'm doing this all by memory, so. What else? I have a lot more, I will assure you that, but I just can't think about them right now. And on what level, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by levels, but if you mean difficulty, then for Left 4 Dead, I play on advanced difficulty, and for other games, I I tend to play on like normal-ish. Yeah, like on Killing Floor, I play on normal. I should be playing on hard right about now, but then I don't know. Haven't I just haven't found a coordinated enough team to go on hard, considering that I only play online. Yeah, so hypocritical considering how I don't really play online on Left 4 Dead 2, but I play online on Killing Floor. But Killing Floor is a serious game anyway, so it's not that different playing with friends and playing online. But yeah, like on basically games that I have a lot of experience on, then I play on like a harder difficulty. But then games that I'm not all that experienced with, or I have trouble in with with a higher level of difficulty, then I tend to play on normal. But then if I'm playing a game for like the first time, then I tend to go on easy and then work my way up. But if you're talking about levels in terms of how much I play it, then I don't know. I guess you can look at my videos and take a look for yourself, I guess. Alright, and then questions from Iku2. No, I'm just kidding, Ikudo. Are you planning to make YouTube a permanent job if you get a partnership? First things first, I don't think that I'm going to be able to even get a YouTube partnership. One being the number of subscribers and viewers I have. I don't think it's enough to meet the criteria to be a YouTube partner. And number two, I don't think YouTube allows YouTubers like me who make videos that aren't like their original content, meaning that they use another person's thing. Then wait, what am I trying to say? Basically, I tend to make Left 4 Dead 2 videos, but Left 4 Dead 2 is owned by Valve, and Valve clearly stated that they will not allow you to use their content to make a profit. Now, if I was making Minecraft videos, on the other hand, Notch, he said that he does not care whether you are making a profit or not, which I think that's really nice of him, actually, but I think it's because of the fact that it was because of YouTube that Minecraft was able to become popular and that he was able to make all this money. So yeah, it makes sense that Notch would allow YouTubers to make profit off of Minecraft. But again, it all depends on the content of your video as well as your views. And that being said, I don't have enough views to become a YouTube partner or subscribers. And the content of my videos, it's technically copyrighted, so I am not able to make a profit off of the videos I make, unless Valve was to magically say that, oh, people can start making a profit off videos whether they use our stuff or not. So yeah, but if I was to be a YouTube partner, it would depend, because it has to be a decent amount of cash first, like enough cash that I can live off of without a job. Then yeah, but again, at this point, I'm not going to be a YouTube partner anytime soon, and if I was, most likely it's not going to be my permanent job. And then next question is, do you have a console? Yeah, I have a GameCube and a Nintendo Wii. And if you're also considering handheld things, then I have a Nintendo DS and a Nintendo SP. Yeah, everything Nintendo. That just shows how Asian I am. Alright, and then next question is thoughts about the end of the world. Do you believe it or not? I'm just going to say that I do not believe jack diddly squat about the end of the world. I just think it's all a ploy to get people scared, because that's what the government is good for scaring the shit out of people, and that's all they really are. For the end of the world, I think it's just all talk and paranoia and stuff. It's just like all the Y2K and the biblical end of the world and stuff. It's just all a ploy to scare people, and I don't think it's going to happen. And if it's going to happen, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'll assure you that. But yeah, there's just no scientific proof that it's going to happen. Oh, just because the Mayan calendar ended on that day, and that is when the planets are going to line up. Here's what I have to say. Just because the calendar ended does not mean that, oh, it's the end of the world. Yeah, there's just no scientific evidence. Like, oh, the best scientific thing they can come up with is the planets are aligning, right? And that is going to cause the end of the world. But I have to ask, how? Because if you think about it, how is planets just lining up going to affect the end of the world? And more specifically, why Earth is so the planets aligning is going to determine the fate of the world, of Earth. Why not Saturn? Why not Neptune? Why not Mercury? Why not Venus? Why Earth? I'm just saying. So I don't think it's going to happen. I just find it really hard to believe. And people who believe it, it's like, okay, sure. Sell your stuff. I don't know, do whatever. Believe what you believe. That's what I say. But then I don't believe this, and I just think it's stupid. Alright, a personal message from Curve, and he asks, have you ever played any Resident Evil game? If so, what is your favorite general opinion about Resident Evil series? About the Resident Evil series from that game? I have not played any Resident Evil game, and the closest I have ever gone to that was at my birthday party back in 5th grade, but I was offered to play Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, but I declined, as when I was younger, I was a real, let's just say, scaredy cat. And I still am, actually. But yeah, back then it was really, really bad. And because of that, no, I have never played it, and I can't give my opinion on it because I don't even know. Well, I have never really tried any Resident Evil game. Alright, next question is, what type/class of player do you want to play as when you first play Borderlands 2? I think I'm gonna keep the sniper as my wait a minute. Are you trying to... You're hinting something, aren't you? I'm gonna be so pissed because I get so much things from you, yet I can't really give you anything in return. But it is how it is. Back to the question. It would have to be a sniper because in Borderlands 1, I found it that my favorite weapons were the revolver and the sniper. I just couldn't find any practical use of any other weapons. The snipers and the revolvers, they do decent amount of damage, and as you get more experienced in the game, the snipers and revolvers, they get to be insanely good that there is just no more use for the other weapons. In my opinion, that is. But for all the other weapons, I just found it a bit difficult to really get the best out of. Like, for the pistols, I found them to be way too weak, and that the revolvers were just much, much better. And the pistols, it was just really hard to get any good use out of them. And then next it was the SMGs. The SMGs, they have really high rate of fire. They typically have good elemental coverage, meaning they do decent amount of elemental damage, and it's easy to find elemental SMGs. But the thing is, they don't do much damage, and the more damage they do, the more the accuracy suffers. And I don't know, it's just that SMGs are good in theory, but then I find it hard to use it in battle, especially in long distance, where that is where you're fighting most of your battles in Borderlands, especially on the bosses. I'm just saying. And then next was the rifles. The rifles were pretty much just the same as SMGs. They have high rate of fire, but little damage and okay accuracy when it came to short range. But then once it was in the mid-range area, that's when the rifles started suffering. And on top of that, it's hard to find rifles that do elemental damage, and it's kind of hard to find one with a decent balance of rate of fire as well as damage and accuracy. So the rifle really suffers there. And then I think next was the rocket launcher. For the rocket launcher, I think it's good when it comes to dealing with small enemies, but then with bigger enemies, it's really hard to hit them or do decent amount of damage. For the rocket launcher, it's mainly splash damage. That's all it really is. And if they have elemental damage, then basically it's just hard to find a rocket launcher with elemental damage, because if you've played Borderlands before, you know you want a weapon with elemental damage. It's just how the game goes, because it does extra damage, and with a rocket launcher, it's all splash damage, yet it's hard to find a decent rocket launcher with elemental damage. So that's already a main fault in rocket launchers, and as well as it's only short and mid range, but for long range, you'd be lucky if you can even hit your target from that far. And from short and mid range, that's when you run the highest risk of hurting yourself when using that weapon. So it's just hard to find practicality in the rocket launcher. And then next is the shotgun. it's good in theory, but then only in really, really short ranges, as in face to face. So it's hard to find any other use from shotguns. If you are going to be running face to face with your opponent, then okay, that's decent, but then a lot of times you are going to be fighting enemies from at least mid to long range. So shotgun is out of the question there. So revolvers and snipers were the only decent bunch that I found where it had a good balance of damage, accuracy, rate of fire, as well as elemental damage. And with them all combined, you have yourself a very deadly combination. And because I like to pick my enemies from afar, yeah, that's where I think my specialty lies. And then next is, have you ever played any kind of card game? Regular poker, blackjack, etc., or game related, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon trading card game, etc. Yes, I have played card games. I've played poker, I've played Texas Hold'em, I've played blackjack, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I've played Pokemon, but not very often. Back in elementary school, from 2nd grade, I think, to around like 5th grade, I played Yu-Gi-Oh. And then in 6th grade, I stopped. In 7th grade, 7th grade still nothing. 8th grade, I started playing some. I started playing well, 5th. 8th grade was when I discovered a card game called, well, not card game, but a game called Big 3, where you used like Big 3. And I played that every now and then, like every rainy day whenever we couldn't play basketball, because back in 8th grade I used to play basketball every chance I would get. So, but then Big 3 was the alternative. And then we would play poker sometimes, blackjack sometimes, and a game called Bullshit sometimes. And then on Christmas, you gifted me Poker Night at the Inventory, and that's where I played Texas Hold'em. So yeah, I've played a decent amount of card games. Number 4, or next question. What is your favorite color? I can't say I really have a favorite color, but I do have a couple preferences. I prefer the darker colors as opposed to the lighter colors. Like, I can't say I have a favorite color, but then I can say that I like colors like black, blue, black, blue, and then basically I prefer black and blue, and then other colors I like but from the lighter spectrum would be like light green, gray, red. So yeah. Simply put, I like certain colors. I have preferences, but I don't have a favorite color. And then next question is, why do you keep yelling? Well,
I'm sorry, it's just a force of habit.
maybe I should start taking some classes on that, huh?
Aw, crap, I just started yelling again. Sorry.
Alright, next question from Progers. And he asks, what is your favorite car and your dream car? Unlike a lot of other guys, I don't really take an interest in cars. But then, if I were to have to say, my dream car, it would be one that is 100 that uses 100% clean energy, because I'm an environmentalist and all that crap. So yeah, basically it's hard for me to take interest in cars because I don't know. Alright, and then Caroline asks, what would you do if it was dark, really dark, and I would be standing behind you and scared you like hell? I don't know. It depends. I would either jump out of my chair and run screaming, or jump out of my chair and turn around and punch you in the face. So I don't know. It depends on occasion, and it depends on what I do. Next question is, would you help me to kill my brother in TF2? I would have to say no, mainly because I don't really play TF2 anymore. Next question is, you still know Emil? Yes, I still know Emil. Next question, are you going to give me a present if you would visit me someday? Isn't me visiting you present a good enough present already? Yeah, I'm being a cheap ass. Most likely not, because I'm not really one for giving presents. And I'm not really one for receiving presents either. But I don't know. It all depends on my mood, I guess. Next question. Could you draw something for me? Please? Kitty face. No. Because my drawings, as you know, they look like this. So yeah, no. And then, by the way, you are a good singer. No, I'm not. Because it's me, it's just no good. Alright, and then these are from, and then next questions are from Wild483. Alright, what is better, screaming Asian wolf or normal Asian wolf? Aren't they really about the same? Actually, no, wait. Normal Asian wolf is a hyper wolfie that tends to scream a lot. So, I guess normal Asian wolf. Next question. If you could have any Left 4 Dead 2 gun in real life, including the German ones, which would it be and why? Let's see. I tend to use the snipers a lot, so I would really like to try a sniper, but then the thing is that I don't really think a hunting rifle would really suit me or my personality, but the military one, it it doesn't look decent enough for me. I don't know. And like, I don't know. Like the military one, it seems like a bit too much, yet not enough for me at the same time. The scout, I like a lot, but then I don't like the bolt action because I tend to like semi-auto rather than bolt, as well as the AMP. I like it, but in real life I'm pretty sure it has a hell of a kickback, and I don't think a guy of my size, being 5'8" and like 140 pounds, would be able to take a constant beating on my shoulder with a AWP. So if there was a sniper, I would like one that's deadly accurate and that doesn't really have too much of a kickback, meaning that I'm able to shoot while I'm standing, and it's not too much that I have to constantly readjust my aim. But it also has to have a decent enough cartridge, not those tiny, well, yeah, cartridge, not those tiny little baby bullets that you can use for target practice. But because there aren't really any snipers that interest me in Left 4 Dead 2, I guess it would be the assault rifles. And I would really like to get my hands on a M16 because I like the fact how I really like the rate of fire in the M16, and the M16 just seems to be extremely versatile. And I also want to get my hands on a M4A1 carbine, which is one of the reasons why I'm preferring the M16 over the AK-47. And I prefer the M16 over the AK-47 because the AK-47, the rate of fire, it's a little too slow for my liking. And the M16 just looks cooler. So of all the guns in Left 4 Dead 2, I would like to get my hands on a M16. Next is, do you like Tank Rush or Fully Charged better? It's hard for me to say because I've had a ton of fun in both game modes. For Tank Rush, in a sense, it kind of lost its luster for me. So as of right now, it's fully charged because, I don't know, I've gotten a lot more laughs and a lot easier. I've gotten a lot more laughs, a lot easier from fully charged than Tank Rush. But don't get me wrong, I still love them both. Next question. How often do you play Left 4 Dead 2 when not playing Tank Rush or another mutation? Not very often. Simply put, not very often. Most of the time I play Left 4 Dead, it's on Tank Rush because that's what most of my friends like to play when playing with me, Tank Rush. But when not playing Tank Rush, then I'm just playing like my version of the realistic scenario. So yeah, just not very often. And then finally, why you no invite? Because I don't do invites. I'm the type that if you join, you join. If you don't, then you choose not to. Simply, like, that's it. If I don't like to do invites because I don't want to make the person I invite feel like they're forced to join because I asked them to. So I don't do invites, which is why I've often said that you are free to join me if there is a slot open. So long as there is a slot open and I'm playing on either my friends or my own server, you are free to join if you feel like joining. Just, I don't want to make others feel like they're forced to join because I wanted them to join. I want the freedom of mind to say that they joined because they wanted to join. That's why they're here. I don't invite because that's not in my character, and I don't invite because you are free to join whenever you want to join, so long as there is a slot open. And alright, I think that's it. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, and see you next time.